Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. It's your brother Yahweh Call from the Great Millstone Orlando camp, and just paying attention to what's going on in the news, as we are to be on our watch, so that Lord willing that day does not catch us like a thief in the night. All right. It's clear, it's obvious that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is stirring things up, moving his spirit throughout the earth. All right. The Lord is doing things on the behalf of his elect. All right. Because again, things are happening. As I say from time to time, we talk the talk as far as speaking these prophecies, but the time is going to come when we're going to have to walk the walk. All right, we're going to be living it. We're not going to be speaking about it. We're going to be living through it. And like the scriptures talk about, death, bloodshed. Matter of fact, let me get that. Just start off in Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 40. Because judgments are being prepared. All right, we're inching closer and closer to Jacob's trouble. All right, and Esau, he's getting ready to come down with that great wrath. Because Esau, the international bankers, they are a part of, like I said, the Lord is moving on the earth. His spirit is moving on the earth, and a part of the Lord moving the chess pieces is putting certain thoughts into the minds of the elites to make them do certain things, such as what prompted me to do this video, to touch on this alert from the WHO about this mpox, all right, pestilence, disease. All right, let me get this in Ecclesiasticus 40 in verse 8. Such things happen unto all flesh, both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the flood. Salakia, these things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. All right, so like I said, judgments are being prepared. We're getting closer and closer to the Jacob's trouble. All right, which this is the hopeful year deemed by the Apostle Tahar, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. And it looked like it could very well be so, Again, just with everything that's going on in the news. Of course, being this is a so-called election year, a lot of things always take place around this time, and as far as these elections, so-called elections, this thing could play out a number of ways, a number of possibilities how this is going to go down, if we even have an election, even this guy Vladimir Putin said that that America is planning some type of pestilence to basically shut things down, another world crisis, quote unquote, like we've seen in 2020, so that there won't even be elections, things will be shut down. Putin said that, and again, going back to this alert from the WHO about this mpox out there in Africa. All right, forgot which part, but it's supposedly, of course, you're going to paint the narrative as it's a contagious, it's deadly, so on and so forth, which is, again, why I titled this the way that I titled it. Because Esau, he needs a justification on bringing in his order. All right. We know there's going to be a lot of chaos in the streets of America. All right, neighbor against neighbor. I'll grab that. Because it's been coming out. It's been coming out that a lot of these nations, these countries, have been bear with me. Hold on. Bear with me. But it's been coming out how because right now, you know, they're painting the so-called Venezuelans as the face of terror. Of course, they're always gonna use Jake. But it's been coming out, all these nations, not just those so-called Venezuelans, but really a lot of these countries have been letting these prisoners out. All right, and they've been letting the worst of the worst out to bring them over here to America. You know, which we should know by now. That's all being funded by America's government, because it's a controlled demolition, or at least that's what Esau wants, a controlled demolition. You know, because like I said, there's gonna be a lot of chaos. You know, a lot of chaos. All right, civil unrest, as that's been in the talk throughout the year, this year. You know, as I've said, man, you know, things are leading up to a very interesting elections, so-called elections. You know, this is going to be a very interesting election. I can't wait to see how this plays out. You know, bear with me. Trying to find this precept. Yeah, this is it. But like I was saying, there's gonna be a lot of chaos in the streets of Babylon. All right, a lot of death and bloodshed. A controlled demolition, as Esau wants. You know, that's what he's trying to. That's what he's trying to do, which it will get to a point where eventually it will get out of Esau's control, because it's not of him. All right. So, nevertheless, with that being said, regardless, he's still gonna cause chaos. All right. And a part of that chaos is, you know, shut things down. You know, shut things down. People won't be able to go to work. It's been said, you know, which of course they're gonna blame. They've been blaming Russia, because, you know, you've been having talks about the MP attack, cyber attack, a major cyber attack, power grid going down over the past couple of years. And of course the boogeyman has always been Russia, China. Well, now the new boogeyman is Iran right now, because Iran is planning a major attack against Israel. All right, and by default, you know, America will get attacked, because since America backs Israel. So the talks of an EMP strike on America and Israel. All right, which we know either way the lights are going to go out. You know, we don't know how, we don't know when, but we know either way the lights will go out. All right, you know, and that's going to cause more chaos. You know, going back to this mpox, this alert from the WHO, this mpox that's supposedly spreading, is contagious. You know, looking like a rerun all over again from 2020. Yeah, and Lord willing it is, you know, Lord willing, because this place needs to be shut down. I'm gonna grab this real quick. Second Edges 15. Second Edges 15. And 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be troubled, and men shall be afraid. You see, Jacob's trouble, you know, because from the looting and ransacking and what do you call it, pillaging and ravishing. All right, because you know we get on the women too. We get on the women a lot about getting ravished, but men are gonna be getting ravished too. You know, I think about this all the time. You know, because hey, during Jacob's trouble, don't be surprised. You're gonna be here. You're gonna be hearing her squealing in the bushes somewhere. You know. And naturally, you're gonna think that it's a woman getting taken against her will. You're gonna think it's a woman getting ravished, all right? Because the scripture say men shall be as women. So you're gonna hear her screeching behind a wall somewhere, all right? Thinking it's just another woman getting ravished, and the Lord's gonna have it to where you see that it's a man getting popped, because men gonna be getting ravished too, and children. Just to show you how, you know, devastating is going to be out here. Men are going to be getting taken too, you know, because that's how bad it's going to be. Like I said, men shall be afraid, you know, because these so-called men in Babylon, they're effeminized, they're effeminate, man. You know, they're weak, emotional, you know, don't stand for nothing, you know, can't fight, can't do anything. You know, these are Babylonians, they're overweight, they're weak. You know, America's a laughing stock right now. You know, but like I said, man, because of their pride, America is the most proud city. You know, it said the city shall be troubled. All right, and the provinces in Babylon, because Babylon is one big city. All right, and you got the different states, which are basically just provinces. All right, and you see the Lord is shaking this place up, man. You know, all right, they're not repenting. Luke 13:3 tells you, except ye repent, ye shall all likewise perish. There's about to be a whole lot of perishing out here, man. You know. The Lord is about to sweep through the land. That tells you that in Amos, man, there's going to be a just wailing in the streets. You know, because the Lord is saving the best for last. Well, He's really saving the worst for last. You know, with those with what's going on in the UK right now, it's been coming out that America is starting to look like what the UK looked like before, you know, all hell broke loose over there. You know, the beginning stages. You know, as well as many other places. You know, because we're in those times, uproars of the people. Bangladesh, all right, that's coming to America times 100. All right, all these different places, man, where people are tearing shit up. You know, again, it's just a matter of the Lord is reserving the worst for Babylon, man. That's all it is. You know, that's all it is. It says the houses shall be destroyed. So you see, I saw a report where they Venezuelan, they're taking over apartment complexes. You know, I think it's out there in California. I could be wrong, but there's these different reports where these different gangs, man, they're just taking over shit and setting up shop. You know, and people are terrorized. People are forced to leave. People are forced to move. You know, and you see, this is the beginning of sorrows. We haven't seen anything yet. All right, we haven't seen nothing yet. But one thing is going to lead to another, and it's going to lead to this in Zechariah 14. And bear with me. Yeah, Zechariah 14. And verse 13. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them, and they shall lay hold everyone on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. So you see, there's going to be, everyone's going to be at each other's throats, home invasions, which you've already seen these things. These is a lot of things that are going on in Babylon as we speak that's not being reported on in the mainstream media. You know, a lot of things are going on in Babylon. Like I just mentioned, a lot of these gangs taking over certain apartment complexes and things like that, and setting up shop, terrorizing the people. You know, there's all type of things going on in Babylon that's not being reported on right now. You know, and again, another, and these people, they're gonna be at each other's throats. Esau, you know, which again by the power of the Lord on the left hand, the spirit of the Lord on the left hand, you know, Esau, he's been moving things into place. All right, moving certain chips into place, you know, such as the infiltration of Babylon, these so-called migrants, you know, all type of things going on, man, you know, to the point where it's not enough to keep, we can't keep up with everything that's going on. But that's why, like the scriptures talk about, a rumor shall come in 1 year, and another rumor shall come in another year, roughly paraphrasing, and then violence is going to break out. You know, eventually it's just going to, you know, this thing's just going to pop off, because like it says in Jeremiah 1, America's a seething pot, you know, like a boiling pot of water. You know, you keep it on the stove long enough, eventually it's going to start to spill over. And we're at that point where America's about to, hey, this shit is boiling, it's about to spill over. You know, and also when you go into that seething, it goes into anger, you know, because like I said, these people, they're going to be at each other's throats. You know, you can already sense the vibes. You can feel the tension as it is. You know, these people are tired, man. That's why you got this whole crash out culture. People are saying the hell with it. You know, you got people, all type of people, especially women, crying on wax, man. Just crying on Instagram, crying on TikTok. You know, this place is through. You know, this place is through. And with all that being said, people are going to look for a solution. You know, and they're going to beg Esau, hey, man, you know, like, hey, from there, Esau, he's going to usher in. Like I read, from neighbor against neighbor with these pestilences, lockdowns, right? All these things, man. You know, I'm gonna go to this. You know, that's why I said earlier, this is gonna be a real interesting so-called elections. Because like I said, this can play out a number of ways. You know, this can play out a number of ways. You know, man. Because in the event of a national emergency, there could be no elections. You know, there could be no elections. They could postpone elections. You know, and they did this a couple of years ago when I think it was only for like a day or whatever, but something happened to where Biden, he had to step down as a president. And Kamala wasn't, you know, she was the president for a couple of hours or a day or something like that. This happened a couple of years ago, you know, which was unprecedented. You know, I believe that was a test to see how the people would react, because let's say something were to happen, all right, to where, like I said, I'm just a scenario, you know, because no one wants Kamala in there, man, you know, national emergency or whatever, right? They got to postpone the elections. Something happens to Biden, and then boom, Kamala's in there. She's the acting president, you know. And these Proud Boys, man, these good old patriots, all right, They're not gonna go for that, man. They're not going for it. You know, they're not going for it, man. They're not gonna go for a so-called black woman at that, which we know Kamala. She's not a Jake. All right, she's not an Israelite. You know, but to the masses, you know, they think she you know, she's a Evite. But just the fact that the color of her skin, you know, people think that she's a so-called black woman, right? And if she ends up being a president, man, that's gonna do. These Proud Boys are gonna tear shit up. Like I said, let alone these people going at it with one another. Because who do you think these like I said, all these countries, all these letting all these migrants, not migrants, but these prisoners out their prisons, and they're letting the worst of the worst out, if I may add, and then, you know, sending them over here to Babylon. You know, who do you think they're gonna take their you know, who do you think they're gonna go after? So that's why there's gonna be a lot of bloodshed, man, because Esau, like I said, he sees his kingdom, black kingdom. My servants fight for it. You know, kingdom, this ain't our rest. You know, theirs. They're gonna lose, but nevertheless they should fight for it, for what's theirs. You know, and not only that, they're losing their kingdom is falling to brown people, you know, so-called black and brown people. Oh hell no. You know, like I said, a so-called black woman is a president. Oh hell no. You know, so there's gonna be a lot of hey man, there's gonna be a lot of all this talk with the basically on the internet, you know, people getting locked up, all right, for so-called, you know, spreading misinformation, you know, or whatever type of information that goes against the interests of the elites. You know, you're gonna be deemed an enemy to the state. You know, like I said, with all this being said, one thing will lead to another, and there's gonna be chaos in the streets, and it's gonna leave room for Esau bringing in more draconian measures. All right, I say all that to say, all this is gonna lead to more draconian measures, because you best believe, for one, America's not going to survive another lockdown. All right, and that's the first lockdowns, 2020, 2021, almost damn nearly completely did away with the middle class, almost. And for those small businesses and whatnot are barely still up, you know, they're barely getting by. They're still functioning somehow. They're barely getting by. You know, because I can tell you, I'm in Revelation 13, when it mentions the rich and poor, you know, there's no in between there. You know, so just imagine another shutdown. Hey, Lord willing, that's going to be the devastating Mike Tyson uppercut blow to really knock this bitch out as far as this economy. All right, but I want to read this in Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb. Of course, a lamb being docile, you know, not a threat, you know. You know, that's why it's going to get to a point where people are going to take matters into their own hands. More and more over the years, people are waking up that these selected officials, they're not really for the people. People are seeing that. That's why we're going to have seditions. That's why people are going to start going after their local governors, mayors. All right, these people that are set up in these positions to look out on the behalf of the little guy, you know, the average common folk. You know, they're going to be sought after. Their heads are going to be sought after, because come to find out, you know, they're not really, these people are full of shit. These selected officials, they're full of shit. So that's why there's going to be seditions. People are waking up, you know, because these selected officials, these politicians, all right, so on and so forth, they're supposed to, you know, they come as if they are for the people, you know. And those two horns, of course, going into and this is how we know, this is one of many reasons we know that this is America's nothing but the Roman Empire, pagan empire coming back all over again. All right, because for people, right, But hey, scripture said that hey, Esau, though he's roughly paraphrasing, though he speaks peaceable, war is on his heart. You know, so that's why when you read on, it says, and he spake as a dragon. All right, going back into the you know, the Athenian lawgiver Draco, which, just to put it in modern terms, you know, um, hey, imagine being put to death for jaywalking. You know, extreme consequences for the most minor petty crimes. You know, that's what it's going into when it mentions that he's speaking as a dragon. All right, going back to Draco, which was he was a strict Athenian lawgiver. All right, and that's what's coming back. That's why, again, when you read in this chapter, hey, those that don't worship the image of the beast are going to be killed spiritually and physically. You know, things are gonna, hey, it's gonna. That's why I mentioned, with the policing that's going on places, of policing of the internet. You know, which one thing is going to lead to another. All right, we know Amos 11 has to come to pass. Amos 8 and 11 has to come to pass. You know, like I was mentioning with the impox. Hey, Esau needs the justification. He needs the beautiful thing about prophecy. All right, the Lord gives us a general outlook, but we're actually seeing the details. You know, we're seeing the details play out before our very eyes. So it's cold. You know, it's cold. But with all that being said, like I said, you know, one thing is going to lead to another. Chaos is going to ensue, and you know, it's going to justify Esau on bringing in his draconian laws, our strict laws, downs. You know, and I was going to make the point. Unlike back 2020, 2021, a lot of people didn't take those lockdowns serious, man. That social distancing and the face mask, a lot of people didn't take that shit serious, you know. But I'm gonna tell you what, when the time comes and it's the real deal and they lock things down for real, hey, them troops, whoever they bring over here, or whoever they give the green light to, because they're already over here, or whoever they give the green light to, all right, those sleeper cells, all right, those troops, man, you know, hey, you know, you got a saying, shoot first, ask later. You know, shoot first, ask questions later. Man, these cats, they ain't even gonna ask. They ain't gonna play no games with people, man. They're not gonna play games with these people. You know, they're gonna be killing for sport, killing for fun, murdering for fun. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get redonkulous. You know, that's why, hey, man, we're gonna need the spirit of the Lord, because it's gonna get scary. You know. But just a few words, Lord willing, this is edifying. Giving all praises to you. How about Shema Shai? Shalom to you, hopefully elect.